Hello, everyone. I'm here to clarify the assignments due for the week of May 4th through May 8th. For your daily do nows, there are point discrepancies. So when you have a daily do now that contains a correct answers, um, they are more than those that have incorrect answers. So the correct answer is 5 points, incorrect answer is usually 1 point. This week's focus is Romeo and Juliet Act 5 live streaming. You are free to read the text as you definitely want to be able to determine what the text says. So when you have questions that require your familiarity with the text, you are able to access the text. So the next viewing will be Wednesday at 8:30. Most of the 8:30 viewings for periods 3 and 7 have been empty. No one has shown up. So if you want to see the last 20 minutes of Romeo and Juliet, you want to show up 8:30 tomorrow morning. It does lock at 8:33. Please make sure you use an identifiable Zoom code name, so that I can admit you into the room. And this is the meeting access code. If you want to join, it won't be posted anywhere else. I do want to say there are several scenes missing from the live stream in the actual video than that's actually in the text. So I strongly encourage that you go to Romeo and Juliet on YouTube, Act 5 scene, do a summary analysis for each one of the scenes, scene 1, 2, and 3, so that you can actually see what's different. You also want to make sure you're following along on the text. Act 5 begins on page 82. I believe in Spark Notes. Spark Notes will let you know everything. It will fill in all the gaps. Read Spark Notes. Okay, some of the questions I intend to use this week for the daily check-ins will be questions that deal with the missing scenes. So make sure you know which scenes are missing. For example, in the movie, Romeo doesn't kill Paris. In the text, we find out that Romeo kills Paris, where he's standing outside of Juliet's tomb and he runs into Romeo. Romeo kills him. Romeo's mother dies. That's not revealed in the text, in the live streaming. Romeo stops to an apothecary to buy poison. That's not in the live stream. So you want to make sure you are familiar with what happens in the text. Okay, so as you've done weekly, this is the last graphic organizer from Miss Melendez. Direct questions to her. Upload directly to SB. Do not send the work in messages. This is due Monday, May 11th. Your class discussion, there'll be no dialectical journal for Romeo and Juliet. The class discussion will count as a test grade. Let's take a look at some of the requirements. It is a test grade, no dialectical journal. So here's how, just like when we sit in class and have a class discussion and you receive 70 points the first time you talk, well, we'll do the same thing. You'll log into Schoology, you'll receive 70 points the first time you speak, okay? Now, you have to have at least 80 words in your first comment. Type it in a Word document or in Google Docs so you can make sure the word count is accurate. You want to make sure you have a textual reference, MLA citation, insert your position. So let's look at the questions. Let's say you say Romeo and Juliet is a romance rather than a tragedy because, so you answer the question and then you'll offer evidence from the text. So let's look here. So you'll say Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy rather than a romance because, there's your because clause, and you introduce your answer. You assert your position, which is doing that. You offer textual evidence, no more than 15 words, and the citations. Whenever I say citation, that's what's in parentheses, the parenthetical citation to include information on where did your reference come from. Then you explain, what does this evidence mean? Why is it important? It's just like doing one dialectical journal entry, except you don't do the say and you don't have to say why you chose it. Okay, so you offer textual reference, no more than 15 words. You can use the ellipses, the dot, 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 and explain what it means, why it's important. Now, once you have submitted your original post, of 70 points. You don't have to do anything else. If you want 70 for a test grade, that's all you have to do. But if you want to receive up to 120 points, then you need to start having a conversation with your classmates. So it's 3 points anytime you speak with another classmate in 50 words without the textual reference or MLA citation. And it's 5 points anytime you speak with a classmate, you respond to something they've said in 50 words, you use textual evidence and the MLA citation. Okay, so you can respond to as many peers as you want above your 70 points. Now, if you just start responding to peers and you haven't done your initial response, there are no points. You can't get points. In order to open the points board, you have to submit your first comment. So if I see that all of the comments are you just responding to other people, you don't get any points. In order to open the point board, you must initiate by starting a 70 point, your first comment with at least 80 words. Each comment is 3 to 5 points. So you don't have to have a textual reference to respond to your peers, but it has to be 50 words. And 5 points if it's 50 words with textual reference and MLA citation. And if you are the fourth responder, your post will be deleted. What does that mean? So let's say Johnny has written his 80-word response and he has student ABC underneath him. 3 students have responded to his post. Do not be student D. Don't be the fourth person. We want to make sure that your comments are spread out over everyone. So if one person has 10 responses, then someone at the bottom, when you scroll to the bottom, they didn't have anyone say anything on their post. So to prevent that, I'm only requiring 3 responders on a post. If you're the fourth responder, you don't get any credit. If you're the fourth responder on any post, you don't get any credit. Please show, it's an English class. You're having a conversation. Show command of the language if you want credit. A lot of times you don't get credit. You get upset and you want variations and you want credit. That's not going to happen. Writing complete sentences, capital letters, periods, meet the word count. Those are not suggestions. Have answers with textual references. And if you want your original post to count or the 5-point post to count. And make sure you use correct MLA citation. In parentheses, use the author's name, act number, period, scene number, period, line numbers, close the parentheses. Shakespeare, act 5, period. Put the scene 1, period. 13 to 14, the line numbers, close parentheses. Make sure your responses are at least 50 words. Show command of spelling, punctuation, capitalization. Anything not done so will be deleted. I'll send you a message in Edsby to let you know you need to fix your errors. So take your time to edit properly. Okay? So that is due Friday, May 8th. Here's the problem now. If you wait until Friday to do your original post, then you may not have, there may not be time to respond to others. I will reward students who respond by Wednesday. I will be sending you a message because you'll be waiting for your classmates to say something and they haven't, and you're ready to get 120 points, but 3 people have posted. So if you have responded to everyone that you want by Thursday and only 5 people in your class have submitted a post, I'm still going to give you a certain number of points. I'll contact you in Edsby to let you know. You will not be penalized if your classmates have not posted their initial response, but you still want extra credit. Again, I will check Thursday to see who's made their original post, who's responded to others, who's already posted, and if there are like 3 people who've responded, those of you who've actually taken the time to respond, I'm still going to give you 120 points for a test grade, even though only 3 people in your class showed up. You will not be penalized. All right. Next assignment, your Romeo and Juliet I Am poem. You'll use the I Am poem template provided, and it says to create a slideshow. This class, you don't have to create a slideshow. That is a correction. I had that from another class. You simply write a poem from the point of view of one of the characters. So you're not creating a slideshow. You're not creating a slideshow. You have until Monday, May 11th to upload your document to turnitin.com, save it as PDF or .docx. So let's take a look at it. You simply, on a Word document, you just type stanza 1, stanza 2, stanza 3, leave space in between your stanzas. Make sure this is Times New Roman size 12. On the title line, you'll have, let's go ahead and let's do that real quick. Just take a quick look at a blank document. Of course, you have your heading over here. Okay, you know to do your heading, class period, date, name, class period, date. And let's go here to the center and you'll put I am, and let's put the nurse. Okay, and then you don't have to write stanza 1. You'll just take a look and do exactly what it says. First, that I am, what are 2 characteristics that describe the nurse? I wonder, what does the nurse wonder? I hear, okay, and it makes sure when it says an imaginary sound, it's an imaginary sound that relates to the character. What you're doing on this assignment is showing me that you know the character. You're able to make inferences based on the text about the character. All right. So, for example, with the nurse, I hear Juliet's wedding bells. She didn't literally hear wedding bells, but there's something that's an imaginary. Okay. So, what is it? When it says imaginary, make sure it's something that's not literally in the text. So, you'll leave space and you'll write the second stanza. So, all of this will be Times New Roman. So here, if you haven't done it, you'll make sure it's Times New Roman, size 12, and you'll type the information. And of course, we want to make sure all of this is Times New Roman as well. So even your heading, Times New Roman, size 12. Okay, so that's what this will look like. And make sure it's turned in to turnitin.com by Monday. Finally, your homework for the week. 7 pages of your April book. This week is from pages 140 to 168. May 5th is day 21 of 30. You're almost done with your April book. Yay. All right. So if you finish early, you definitely want to contact me. There is probably going to be an analysis paper for your April book. There won't be a dialectical journal. There'll be an analysis paper for your April book. So more information will come on that next week. Okay, that's all the information to clarify your assignments for the week of May 4th. Ask a classmate if you need anything clarified before asking me. If no one else knows the answer, check in with me. Y'all have a good week.